Okay, everybody. I didn't bring with me, so I'll put a picture of it up here. But it's dechlorinator. Pretty much we all use it, and it's horrible to run out of it. But it's something that you can make yourself for not too inexpensive, or not too expensive. And you can make as large a quantity or as small a quantity as you want. I've used a variety of it, and unless you have well water or a carbon block filter or something to take the chlorine out before it gets to your tanks, we're all using dechlorinator. What I'm going to show you how to make today is a dechlorinator that just takes care of chlorine. It doesn't mess with the metals and add this and add that and a little this of formula and a little of that formula to change this or that. Just takes out chlorine. Simple. Keep it simple. And so you want to check with your water source, your water company, your municipality, whoever you get your water from, and see that they use chlorine and not chloramine before using this product, because chloramine, this chemical that we're going to be using today, will get rid of chloramine. But when it does, it will release the chlorine from the ammonia, which makes up the chloramine, and it will basically dose your tank with ammonia, and that causes another problem. If you decide to go this route with chloramines, you'll need to use something that will take care of the ammonia in your tank, some other chemical like that. And at that point, it's not really cost effective to use this. It'd be better just to use a commercial dechlorinator, such as Prime or Start Right or something. But the chemical that we're going to be using today is the main ingredient in a lot of dechlorinators, the main active ingredient anyways. And you can find out active ingredients or even inert ingredients in your chemicals by looking up their MSDS, or sometimes referred to as the SDS, online or through the company. And chemicals are required to have MSDSs, and it's basically the safety breakdown for their chemical. It tells what's in the chemical. It might not tell you how much, but it tells you the ingredients of the chemical and safety things about the chemical. Of it has been shown to cause cancer when it's done this, and if you do this with it, it does that, and it flash points this, and all this other safety stuff. It's pretty neat, and you can look it up. You can look up pretty much everything on it. So whenever I looked up a large amount of commercial dechlorinators, this chemical was what was listed. And then I found the directions of how to mix it to the proper ratios to get what we need for our aquariums. The chemical is sodium thiosulfate, and I ordered 5 pounds of it off of Amazon, and it cost me about $18. And it's sold commercially as many things. This particular one was sold as a pool additive to neutralize the chlorine in your swimming pool. If you put too much chlorine in your swimming pool, you can add this, and it will neutralize chlorine and bromine. Let's see. According to the directions here for its intended use, 1 ounce of sodium thiosulfate will neutralize 1 part per million of chlorine or bromine in a 10,000 gallon water of a pool. So if it neutralizes chlorine and bromine in a pool, in an aquarium it would do the same thing. This is also sold for film developing and photography. There's also some, I don't know if you call it holistic or naturalistic or something, some health food movement type thing where they use this product. But I'm not going into all of that. I ordered it from Amazon through basically a pool company. Your local pool shop, when you go to get your pool filter sand, check with them. They may have it there cheaper, or be able to get it for you. If not, check out Amazon or eBay. Both places have it at a decent price. But 5 pounds will do me for a long, long time. And the other chemical that we'll be using is this right here. And somewhere on it is a label. It's distilled water. And you will want to use distilled water because distilled water doesn't have any other additives. Some bottled waters will have chlorine in them, and I don't want to use a product with chlorine in it to mix my dechlorinator. I want to use one that is just plain water. And distilled water, if you remember from your chemistry classes, is what you generally will use for mixing solutions, for diluting things and such. So we're going to mix up a gallon of this solution, and there's many different ratios you can mix it at. Some of them's like 1 drop per 10 gallons, 1 drop per gallon. I don't want to be messing with drops. I want to be messing with teaspoons, 5 milliliter divisions. So I'm going to mix a gallon's worth. I'm going to use this same container here for the final solution container. I will take the labels off so that someone doesn't think it's distilled water. I will relabel it for dechlorinator, and I'll be able to use my measuring spoons, my teaspoons, or the old caps off of my old dechlorinators to measure out 5, 10, 20 milliliters, or 1, 2, 3, 15 teaspoons. But I'm also going to need 4 ounces of sodium thiosulfate. So I've got my scale here, and notice it's a 4 ounces of weight to a gallon of water. Go ahead and open this up. And I have a cup here just to pour off some of the water, because the sodium thiosulfate, when I add the 4 ounces of it to the water, will displace some of the water, and I don't want it overflowing. So I'll just pour off a little bit of it, and then I can add it back after I get my 4 ounces. I've zeroed my scale out just to make sure that it's not reading the dish on top here. And I don't know how much sodium, I don't know how much of this is going to be 4 ounces, but we will see. And that's 8 ounces. So I could use this in there, and I would use a half a teaspoon. But I don't want to do that. I want to get it to where I just use a teaspoon, so I want to get it back down to 4 ounces. And sodium thiosulfate is a type of salt. So you kind of know what you're dealing with here. It's a salt and some water. It's not table salt, it's not marine salt, it's not aquarium salt. 4 ounces. There we go. It's sodium thiosulfate salt. And the package here even has a label on it that says, before using, read and understand the current safety data sheet. Safety data sheet, like I said, it's sometimes referred to as SDS or MSDS. MSDS is the old abbreviation, and that's what I'm used to. Really should have had a funnel. So when you do this, have a funnel. So I'm going to make we'll call it an impromptu funnel. I'm sure you all have done this before too at some point. Made a funnel out of paper or plastic or something. And since I wasn't using a good funnel, all of it didn't go in. I spilled some on the table. And the good thing about this stuff, you can't overdose. So I'm gonna grab another pinch or two. And drop that in. All right, so I know I've got at least 4 ounces of the stuff in there, and put the lid back on it. And before I add this back in, let's give it a little shake. Get it stirred up. Leave a little headroom in there for the air bubble to shake around to mix the stuff up. This is where you start thinking about your best dance music and get a little dance going. If you're using this type of container, make sure you hold the lid on tightly. It does not screw on, it just snaps on, and the pressure of the water shaking against it could make it pop off. If you decide to do that, please record it and post it so that we often get a good laugh. Looks alright. Let's pour some of this back into the gallon line. Almost to the gallon line. We'll pour it there. Give it a little shake. It doesn't shake as well when it's full. Shelf life is about 6 months to a year, but it won't last me that long. It might last 6 months, I doubt it. I keep adding tanks. At 4 ounces per gallon, you will use 1 teaspoon or 5 milliliters for every 10 gallons of tank water that you need to dechlorinate. When using this for your first time, I suggest using it on your tap water and then testing for ammonia to see if you get an ammonia spike. Just to prove that you don't have chloramines in your tap water. But like I said, you can get with your municipal source, your water company or whoever, and find out. Most of them don't use chloramines because chloramines are more expensive and not as effective, and most of the water places want to do it on the cheap and the easiest way, and chlorine's cheap and easy. And then you can get a lot of the information such as that offline, public records. Water companies are required to put out public records of their testing, and it shows how much chlorine they put in, what chemical they use, what nitrates or ammonias or other chemicals they find in the water, and what they treat it with and that type of stuff. But you can look that up or contact your water department and get the information that way. But I would check it myself by using this solution on some tap water and then testing for ammonia, waiting a little while and then testing again for ammonia just to be safe. And then use it 4 ounces per gallon treats 1 milliliter of the solution will take care of 10 gallons of water, of tank water. So this gallon at this concentration will treat about 7,500 gallons, so a little over 7,000 gallons, and a 16-ounce bottle of the API tap water conditioner will treat 9,000 gallons, I believe, but it will cost you anywhere between $5 and $10. This gallon jug of water cost me 82 cents. Taxes and everything, 82 cents. The 4 ounces of sodium thiosulfate, I bought the 5-pound bag. It was $18. You break that down to the ounces, 4 of the ounces, and you're looking at 90 to 92 cents for that. So the water and the sodium thiosulfate, you're looking at $1.75-ish to treat, about the same as what the $5, between $5 and $10 API stuff treats, and it's basically the same chemical, it's the same makeup. They have a few additives in it, and then if you look at it, the same, you know, as a lot of other water treatments. And I didn't discover this. This has been out for a while. It seems like it comes out that people discover it and everybody's talking about it, and then it goes away, and then it comes back, and that type of stuff. But, you know, have you ever used this? I know a lot of you all have well water or have fancy filters, but this is something that you can do inexpensively. You don't have to buy 5 pounds. You can buy a pound, a half pound of this stuff, or maybe in a smaller quantity. But where it's sold for pools, usually you find it in the bigger doses. But it'll save you some money that way. So here I have about 7,500 gallons worth of tank water treatment for under $2. And who knows how much is sitting over here. And I can just reuse the same jug, but since I'm buying distilled water, I'll be getting more jugs when I get them. If you've used this, let me know what your experience is in the comments, or if you have thoughts on it or comments otherwise. If you like the idea of me doing this type of video, DIY type stuff, how to get things cheaper, that type of thing, give me a thumbs up. If you'd rather see something else, give me a thumbs down. But if you did like it and you'd like to see more, you can just hit the subscribe button, and beside it's a little notification bell. You can hit it and it will tell you when I have uploaded stuff. And if you really like what we're doing here, you can hit the share button. YouTube puts a share button on there that allows you to share it to your social media, send it to your friends, your family, and the more people we get together, the bigger fish party we can have. So until next time, we'll see you.